Right, folks, buckle up. Remember Brexit, that messy divorce between the UK and the EU? Well, they've finally agreed on a new post-breakup arrangement, the UK-EU deal of 2025. Big surprise, right? And guess what? It's got a whole section dedicated to immigration. This deal isn't just some dusty old document tucked away in a government drawer. It's a seismic shift that's going to send tremors through the lives of EU immigrants and anyone hoping to make the UK their new home. We're talking about changes to work visas, border control, and even the recognition of your hard-earned qualifications. This deal is the new reality, folks. Ignoring it isn't an option. So put the kettle on, grab a biscuit or a croissant, we don't judge, and let's dive into what this deal actually means for you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, let's talk about work visas. Remember when EU citizens could just waltz into the UK and start working? Yeah, well, those days are gone. The New Deal has brought with it a whole new system of work visas, each one more complex than the last. There are different visas for different skill levels, industries, and lengths of stay. It's enough to make you want to pack it all in and become a shepherd in the Scottish Highlands. But before you start knitting your own tweed, let's break it down. If you're from the EU and want to work in the UK, you're going to need a visa. The specific type of visa you need will depend on your skills, experience, and the job you're applying for. There are options for skilled workers, those with job offers, and even entrepreneurs looking to set up shop. But be warned, the eligibility criteria are stricter than a headmaster at a Victorian boarding school. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so you've got your visa sorted. Congratulations, but don't think you can just stroll through Heathrow with a cheery wave and a "Good morning, officer." Oh, no, my friend, border control is a whole other kettle of fish. The UK has ramped up its border controls like a bouncer on a Saturday night. We're talking increased checks, tougher entry requirements, and a whole lot of queuing. EU nationals, once accustomed to breezing through designated lanes, now face the same scrutiny as anyone else. Passports are inspected with the intensity of a hawk eyeing its prey, and questions about the purpose of your visit are more probing than a Jeremy Paxman interview. The bottom line, be prepared. Have your paperwork in order, know the reason for your visit inside out, and be ready to channel your inner Zen master if you encounter any delays. Remember, patience is a virtue, especially when facing the steely gaze of a border guard at 6 a.m. Section 4, Qualifications Conundrum. Recognition roadblocks. You made it past border control. Give yourself a pat on the back. But before you start celebrating with a pint and a plate of bangers and mash, there's another hurdle to clear: the recognition of your qualifications. Just because you've got a degree in astrophysics from the Sorbonne doesn't mean it's going to hold the same weight in the UK. The New Deal has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works when it comes to the mutual recognition of qualifications. Some professions, like doctors and architects, have established pathways for recognition, but others, well, let's just say it's a bit of a wild west out there. You might find yourself jumping through hoops, taking additional exams, or even starting your education over from scratch. So what's the solution? Research. Contact the relevant UK professional body in your field and find out exactly what you need to do to get your qualifications recognized. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Section 5, Employment Rights Evolution, Adapting to New Realities. Okay, so you've jumped through the visa hoops, navigated the border control maze, and even managed to get your qualifications recognized. You're practically a superhero, but the journey doesn't end there. Before you start measuring for your cape, let's talk about employment rights. This is where things can get a bit tricky. Remember how EU citizens used to enjoy the same employment rights as UK citizens? It was a simpler time. Well, those days are about as gone as a decent British curry in a tourist trap. The landscape has shifted significantly. The New Deal has brought about some changes to the employment landscape, and it's important to be aware of your rights. These changes can affect various aspects of your work life. While the UK has committed to upholding basic employment rights for everyone, there are some subtle but significant differences that have emerged. These differences can impact your day-to-day work experience. For example, rules surrounding working hours, holiday entitlement, and even overtime pay might not be exactly the same as what you're used to. And let's not forget about parental leave. The policies might differ, affecting how you balance work and family life. The key takeaway here is to be informed. Knowledge is your best tool in navigating these changes. Familiarize yourself with UK employment law, know what to expect from your employer, and understand your rights and responsibilities. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask questions. Whether it's your HR department or a legal advisor, seek clarity when needed. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to navigating the often confusing world of employment law. Stay informed, stay empowered. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Section 6. Who feels the shift? Impacts across the spectrum. Now, let's not beat around the bush. This new deal is a game changer. This new deal doesn't impact everyone equally. Some will feel the weight more than others. It's like a game of dodgeball, except the ball is a complex set of immigration rules, and not everyone's got the same level of agility. Some are more prepared, while others are caught off guard. First up, we've got our EU nationals already living and working in the UK. You've been here contributing to the community, and now you're facing new hurdles. You folks might feel like you're stuck in a bureaucratic Groundhog Day. Endless forms, endless waiting. Remember all that paperwork you filled out for the EU settlement scheme? It was supposed to be a one-time thing. Well, get ready for round 2. More forms, more proof, more stress. The new deal might require you to revalidate your status just to prove you're still you. It's a never-ending cycle. Then we've got our fresh-faced EU citizens looking to make the UK their new stomping ground post-2025. You're stepping into a whole new world. For you, it's a whole new ballgame. New rules, new challenges, and a lot of uncertainty. Visa applications, skills assessments, and the constant fear of exceeding your allotted visa-free days will become your new normal. It's a lot to take in, and let's not forget about our skilled workers, students, and families trying to reunite. Each group faces its own set of challenges. The new deal has thrown a few curveballs your way too. It's not just about paperwork, it's about life plans being disrupted. Skilled worker visas have become more competitive than a game show. International students are facing higher tuition fees, and the pressure is mounting. And family reunification rules feel stricter than a Victorian-era chaperone. It's a tough landscape to navigate. The point is, this deal has a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone involved in the UK's immigration story. It's a complex web of changes that will take time to fully understand and adapt to. And Section 7. Charting your course, practical steps for immigrants. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. This new deal might feel like a kick in the knackers, but it's not the end of the world. In fact, it could be a new beginning if you play your cards right. There are steps you can take to navigate this new landscape and come out on the other side relatively unscathed. It's all about being prepared and staying informed. First and foremost, if there's one piece of advice you take away from this whole spiel, it's this. Get yourself some proper legal advice. A good lawyer can be your best ally in these times. And no, your mate Dave, who once went on holiday to Spain, doesn't count. You need someone who lives and breathes immigration law. We're talking about a qualified immigration lawyer who knows the ins and outs of this new deal better than their own mother. They can help you understand your options and guide you through the process. Once you've got your legal A-team assembled, it's time to get proactive. Don't wait for things to happen, make them happen. Check your immigration status regularly. Keep an eye on deadlines and make sure your paperwork is always up to date. Don't wait for a strongly worded letter to arrive in the post before you even think about renewing your visa. Be proactive and stay ahead of the game. Remember, ignorance is not a defense when it comes to immigration law. Explore alternative visa routes. There might be options you haven't considered yet. The UK has a whole smorgasbord of visas to choose from, each with its own set of requirements and benefits. Take the time to research and find the one that best fits your situation. The bottom line is this. The new UK-EU deal of 2025 has changed the immigration game, but it hasn't made it impossible to play. With the right approach, you can still achieve your goals. Arm yourself with knowledge, seek expert advice, and stay adaptable. The future may be uncertain, but with the right preparation, you can navigate it successfully. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.